It's time for Ryan's Roses. It's time for Ryan's Roses. So here we go. Listen to the email and let's see where this goes. But it comes from Hacienda Heights, and she says, it's Carmen. She says, Dear Ryan and Sissany, my husband has been home more lately. Suddenly his work hours have changed and he doesn't seem happy about it. He sneaks off to make weird calls, and he often says, I may need to run out. Now, I've gone over it all in my head, and here's what I came up with. He's seeing someone either at work or elsewhere, and I think the circumstances have changed. Maybe they don't work together anymore, or maybe she has a husband, and he became suspicious. So his routine changed, and let me grab Carmen. Carmen, thanks for coming on. So you to draw this conclusion, I feel like you would have already to have felt something wrong in your relationship to even think that this might be what's happening. Is that true?
No, I mean, I didn't think anything was wrong in our relationship. It's more his behavior and how drastic he's just kind of changed, and he's acting erratic, and, you know, he seems really unhappy.
Wow. He's unhappy when he's with you.
Well, his hours suddenly changed at work. I'm unclear as to really why. He didn't even ever really explain that. So all of a sudden, he's home a lot more during the day. And when he's home, he's snappy and just generally seems miserable.
So that's what we're trying to get to. So he was, when he wasn't home a lot because you think he was doing something not only at work, but with somebody at work.
Well, he sneaks off and, you know,
sneaks
he'll get
off,
a phone call.
He leaves?
Yeah, he'll get a phone call, and then he'll be like, "I have to go," and he'll run out. And when he looks at his phone, I could tell if I'm in the room. He looks at, in a way that I can tell that he's trying to hide something. I mean, I've been married to the man 17 years. You know a person when you know a person, and I know him, and something's up. So I don't know. I have created a lot of scenarios in my head. If he's been seeing somebody at work, coworker, receptionist, and I don't know, maybe she's married and her husband found out about it, and so now he's SOL. Freaking out. I mean, that's the one scenario I have of like 10 in my head. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, take a breath. We're going to come back. We'll call him. It makes me think already something was wrong. If she has 10 scenarios,
I know,
right? You're not having a good relationship, and then you draw these 10 conclusions. I don't think. All right. Let's make the call next. We've got Carmen on the line. Carmen is married, and her husband is home more often, and he's in a bad mood about it. She thinks that it's because he had a relationship with somebody else who has since left his office. Her husband found out about it. Something has changed.
Right.
Something where he was occupying his time and his happiness has changed. And now he's home, and she thinks it was somebody else, that he was cheating with somebody else that's no longer around. So we're going to make the call. All you need to do, Carmen, is say, Ryan, you have my permission to call, and then whatever his name is on Kiss FM.
Ryan, you have my permission to call. Find out what's going on.
Sisney's going to offer him some roses, and then we want to find out who he sends them to and what he puts on the card emotionally, specifically what kind of detail we get from that. So good luck, okay?
Thanks.
Be very quiet. We'll call him now, okay?
Hello?
Hi, is this Brian?
This is.
Hi there, my name is Brittany. I'm calling from Pretty Petals. We're a brand new flower shop here in Hacienda Heights. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking. So the reason I'm calling is because we're offering a chance for local residents to send free flowers to anybody that they'd like today. You can actually send these to anyone, and they're absolutely free. No cash, credit card info, anything is needed. We're just trying to promote our business.
Okay, cool.
Great. So is this something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. I just need the name of the person you would like to send. And it's actually a dozen red roses that you would be sending today. So what's the name of the person?
Okay, great. Send them to Isabel.
Isabel. Okay. And what would you like to put on the note?
Say, I need you to reconsider. I'm not ready for this to be over.
Need you to reconsider. I'm not ready for this to be over. Okay. I'm going to sign Love Brian or...
Yeah, how about just XOXO, Brian?
Okay.
Brian, your voice is being broadcast on the radio. We have your wife, Carmen, on the line. And you just asked a woman named Isabella to reconsider. You're not ready for it to be over. XOXO, Brian. Can you explain that to your wife?
Wow, Brian. Wow. After 17 years of marriage, I want to know what's going on, and I want you to tell me the truth. We have 3 children together. Whatever it is, just be a man and be honest about it.
Okay,
right now.
Hold on a second. Carmen, what is this? Are you kidding me?
This is you acknowledging what's been going on. What I've known is clearly going on. This is you. You just admitted it. So now come on with it.
You really want to do this on the radio like this?
I want to do it on the radio. And I want you to be truthful. Who is Isabel, Brian?
I obviously, I didn't want this to go down like this. This is something that's been going on for a little while, and it's been really plaguing me, if I'm honest, and I obviously wanted to tell you, I wanted to be honest with you, but I didn't know how to do that, and I certainly didn't think that it would happen like this. But, I mean, we're having a conversation, so...
You love her and you've been having an affair.
I've been having an affair. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I love her. I mean, obviously we have, I love you. We have kids together. No,
that's okay. That's okay.
But
I appreciate you acknowledging it and being honest with me, and that's fine. We're going to take the step forward, and I will be gone by the end of the day.
Carmen, do you know who Isabel is?
No, I don't know who Isabel is.
Brian, how long has this been going on?
This has been going on for at least half a year.
And why do you say she should reconsider? What is she? What's she doing?
Well, I mean, I just want her to hear me out. I want her to hear the whole story, and I promise to be honest and candid about everything. And
does she not know about your wife?
She does. She is in a relationship of her own, so it complicates things a bit.
No worries. There's no relationship anymore. You don't have a wife anymore, Brian, so you're free to go do whatever you want to do. 6 months ago, whenever this began with her, is when you should have left us. You should have left your family then. You shouldn't have embarrassed them this
Carmen,
way.
It's not that simple. I mean, we have an entire history together. We can't just erase it.
You decided to ruin that.
What are you talking about? You sound delusional.
Like, I never had feelings for other people, or I never imagined my life with other people. Brian.
Really? Okay. You've never done that? You've never done that, really?
Said what you just said that you've been having, I've never done, because I care about our family and our children. And I've never.
I do too. I do too, Carmen, but sometimes life happens,
No, you don't. And that's okay. Like I said, I will be gone by the end of today. You are free to go do whatever it is you want to do.
Why do you have to be gone, Carmen? Kick him out.
Let's just, can we just, I don't know who these people are who are on the phone with us. Can we talk separately about this?
Yeah, you guys should talk about it. Carmen, your instinct was almost, I'm looking at your email, was almost right on about what was going on.
I knew it.
Well, I'm going to let you guys go. And Carmen, I'm sorry, your feeling was right about this. Thank you for reaching out to us.
Thanks.
That was tough.
Hurts.
Right?
Really hurts.
I think, well, look, we'll come back in a second, but I think Carmen, I feel like she was prepared for that outcome.
She was very
right?
calm in a weird
She
way.
was prepared for that. That's basically what she said she thought was going on. It's almost like she prepared herself for that.
Wow.
I do want to bring you up to speed on this Ryan's Roses. If it's the first minute that you've gotten here, we did have a call, and it's really interesting what's coming in because Palmdale is saying, I appreciate that he admitted having that affair. We're going to go to that call in a second. Also, Eddie, he's in Ranch Cucamonga. He's with his coworkers, and they have a theory. And I love a group study on this and then a materialized theory out of it.
Yes.
So that's happening. But just so you know the context of it, Carmen reaches out to us. And you know what I'm thinking about here and what strikes me, Sissany, is that Carmen, in her blood, in her heart, in her brain, she knew this was going on.
Yeah.
And so she was almost prepared for confirmation to then make the exodus.
I thought it was kind of crazy that she had already created this scenario, and I was like, oh, she's just creating it, but it actually was the
She
truth.
was right on. She was right on. So her husband is Brian, and he had been at the house a lot, and she thought that was strange because normally he was away. Anyway, she thought, okay, well, wait, he's here a lot. He must have been out, not working so much, but with someone else. And they must have broken it off, and that's why he's back here. I mean, it was a roundabout theory, but it turned out to be accurate. So we offer him the roses. He wants to send them to Isabel with a note that says, I need you to reconsider. I'm not ready for this to be over. So his wife saw him around more often and thought, wait a minute, he's not acting right. I'll bet he was away because he was with somebody else, and now they're not together anymore. And that's exactly what happened. So we offer him the roses. He sends them to Isabel, and everything that she believed was happening. Listen.
You don't have a wife anymore, Brian, so you're free to go do whatever you want to do. 6 months ago, whenever this began with her, is when you should have left us. You should have left your family then. You shouldn't have embarrassed them this
Carmen,
way.
it's not that simple. I mean, we have an entire history together. We can't just erase it.
You decided to ruin that.
What are you talking about? You sound delusional. And now he's respecting the history that they've got together in that moment. So let me grab Brandy first because Brandy is in Palmdale and she appreciates that Brian has admitted to having the affair. But what else, Brandy?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I appreciate that he's admitted to having an affair because it's going to make Carmen's job so much easier. But when he said that it wasn't that easy for him to just up and leave his wife, that was genuine because he loves his wife. He's just not in love with his wife. He's in love with Isabel.
Okay, but
he wants
now,
to have his cake and eat it too.
But he should have, before he even put the batter in the bowl, he should have said, he should have just had a conversation. If Brandy's right, he should have just said, hey, look, I love you, but I'm losing the in love part.
Yeah,
and either we work it out or we don't.
Worked on it. Yeah.
Right.
He should have, but most people aren't going to do that. They think they can do both, and that's what he thought he could do was both. But his wife, like she said, she knew him, so that's why she knew this was going on. But she's crazy as HE double hockey sticks if she leaves her house with her 3 kids and does not put that man out instead.
Yeah. And she's crazy as what?
Hell. HE double hockey.
HE double hockey stick. HE double hockey stick.
Double hockey sticks. I love your parent protecting the show right now. I'm going to. I'm going
to keep that one in the back burner. That's a good one.
Child-proof the show.
So you got to have all those different things so you can cuss without cussing.
Yeah. No. Can you give me any more that we can use on the air?
Well, we say poop on a stick a lot in place of, the S word.
Poop on a stick.
You're
okay.
like, oh, well, let's poop on a stick,
I like it. But now I feel like kids would repeat poop on a stick. HE double hockey stick? That's a little more confusing.
They repeat that one because they think it's funny because it's a hockey stick. But poop on a stick, they might repeat it, but they don't really know what it means. So
Okay,
get a little-
I don't even know if I know what it means.
You know what it means because you're grown, so it's okay.
Well, I mean, if you see me in person, I don't know. All right, well, thanks, Brandy. We big hug you. Thanks for calling.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Okay,
Bye.
you too. Bye. H-E double hockey
I know,
stick
that's all
is
I
the
took away
greatest
from that.
invention of my 15-year broadcast career.
You know what I'm stuck on?
I'm wondering. I'm looking at your face. What is it?
What I never understood the have your cake and eat it too. Because if you're having a cake, aren't you eating it too? Am I the only one?
Actually, Tanya may have a good point
you
on
actually
this.
do bring up a good point.
So
Wow.
you wanted to have your cake and eat it too. And if someone gives you your cake, they give it to you to not eat. They give it to you to eat.
If you're having cake, you're eating
Why
it.
don't you? Would you research the root of that?
Sure. Sissy
We'll
just
come
said it,
back.
and I really got thrown off.
I like it. So you research that
Okay.
search. We're going to come back also with Eddie, who has an office theory. Eddie, are you there?
I'm here, Ryan.
Okay, don't move. I need you to hang because I've got to hear your office theory in Rancho. Thank you. I got Eddie on hold with the conspiracy theory about the roses. James, though, in Sherman Oaks, what do you mean we got played?
Seriously, from the time that this thing started, something did not sound right. Her entire reasoning for calling seems off. I mean, any other call that you guys have ever had, they're calling in while the affair is going on. They've had some doubts or whatnot. So if she's had doubts or whatever, and she didn't call, that means that she played this from the very get-go. This was a setup. Nothing about it sounded kosher. Her reaction to everything was just way too calm. She's probably literally had her bags already packed and out the door already. She might even have somebody waiting for her, but none of this sounded right. The whole thing.
So
sounded like a setup.
so meaning he did cheat or he didn't cheat?
No, either he did cheat, and this is her way of basically use you guys as her exit strategy, or the whole thing is bogus. I lean more towards that, the whole thing being bogus simply because I mean, in all of the calls that you guys have are usually, and I listen. My wife and I listen to you guys all the time. The wife is always calling in because she suspects something is going on. Because the husband is away, not because he's there more. Sissany wouldn't be complaining if Michael was spending more time with her. That would be the last thought that she would have would be that he's having an affair. That was
Unless she's paranoid. Right. I wonder if look, you may be right because we're in a vacuum taking these calls all the time. But James, thank you. I have Eddie with a theory from the whole office. But James, before I do that, will you just do me a favor because your voice is rocking my core? Would you say 102.7 KISS FM?
102.7 KISS FM.
Eddie, thanks for holding in Rancho. So you in the office, you've got a theory about this Ryan's Roses?
Absolutely.
Tell me.
So there is no possible way on earth that after 17 years, a woman would just say, all right, I'm out. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. So, she's for sure taking 2 slices of cake elsewhere. There's no way that he's the only one at fault
So
here.
you think her calm, poised reaction was a result of her previously cheating?
I think she, for sure. That's why when he said, are we really going there? She's for sure had affairs in the past and, cheated on him. There's no way.
I like the way you psychoanalyze this. Where do you work? For whom do you work for and with?
I'd like to tell you I'm some type of counselor, but I'm not. We're a construction company, and every morning we listen in to you guys, and it's our therapy.
Well, hi.
That's so awesome.
No, you know the architecture and construction of a relationship. I mean, this is
I'll tell you what, I know that you can't build a house without a foundation.
That's
and
right.
Yeah.
there we go. This thing's done.
You are
She's
the
been
brick
cheating
to
on
my
him
mortar.
for a while as well. They're not good for each other. They're done.
How many people in the office there?
There's 12, and about 6 of them are jumping around in the background right now. Happy as can be.
You guys are the best. Thanks for listening to us. Take care, okay?
You got it, Ryan. Thank you.
Later. Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 Okay, Carol.
Yes.
You can have your cake and eat it too.
You can't have it anymore once it's eaten.
So if you eat your cake, you can no longer have it. So that's why you can't do both.
So you're supposed to stare at it?
I'm sorry?
You're supposed to just stare at it?
Yeah.
We're confused by this because what Tanya was saying that she doesn't understand the phrase because the guy, we were saying this, Brian, wanted to have his cake and eat it too in the relationship. Right. Tanya said, hold up, wait a minute, let me put some boom in it, and which we should search the origin of that as well, but I think it's a cheer from my junior high days.
Yeah, I don't think that's like widely known.
Have your cake and eat it too. So if Sissany gives me a cake, I have my cake. Now, if I don't eat it, she's going to be offended that I don't eat it.
But if you don't eat it, then you still
but it has
have it.
nothing to do with that. Exactly. It has to do with one or the other. If you want to have it, you can't eat it.
No, but if I have it,
you can no longer have it.
Well, why would I let it go stale?
It has something to do with the French and Marie Antoinette, and I don't know exactly the origin.
She's going biblical dates. She's going way back, Marie Antoinette and before. Take it to Mesopotamia. Let's go back to the days of aqueducts and cakes and eating it too. All right. Well, we love you for listening to us, Carol. Thank you for explaining that.
Love you guys too.
All right.
All right.
I'm equally. Have a good morning. If you give me a cake and I don't eat it, I feel like that's the offensive act.
I know, I agree.
But if I have my cake and I keep having my cake and I don't eat it, that's great, but my cake eventually goes bad. So that's bad. So if I have my cake and I eat it too, it seems like the good result.
Apparently it's not.
Well, let's not cry over spilled milk here.
Oh, jeez. What does that mean?
Well, that is, if you spill your milk, it's not that big of a deal, so don't cry. And so that my mother, she would know. I may have to find her about the cake because she might have a good explanation of the cake. Hi, Jen. How are you in West Hollywood?
I'm good. How are you, Ryan?
I'm good. We just heard that Ryan's Roses call, and people are having a hard time understanding how she was so calm and transactional in reacting to her husband having this extramarital affair. What's your view?
Well, I think that sometimes women, we have this intuition when our partners are cheating on us, and to me it sounded like she had already sort of come to terms with it, and she just wanted that confirmation by doing the Ryan's Roses call. But, I mean, I've had situations where I've been dating someone, and, I remember this one guy, he had a girl post on his Facebook wall, and I just was immediately suspicious, and I felt crazy about it, and by the time I confronted him about it, I was right, first of all. Second of all,
I get it.
By that point, because I accepted it already.
I get that. But to your point, there's a nucleus of intuition.
There really is.
That is within the epidermis of individuals that can suss this stuff out, and they've got this remarkable telekinetic, whatever radar, where they just, they do say, like, if I start thinking of someone, they might call. They do say there's, like, your inners are able to detect things. It sounds like that's what she did with this, because otherwise you can't take it like that. Jen, I'm all worked up. All right. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Ryan.
My shirt's coming out, like, untucked. And my hands are in the air.